Ghosts of War, irony. The soldiers from replacement unit are staying in Tent City, the same tents where we stayed upon our arrival back in December. It's now November. With the exception of a few guys on their second tour, the replacements are brand new to the war, and it's our job to show them the ropes. It's the last mission I conduct in Iraq. I'm driving the last gun truck in a convoy of 11 vehicles. SSG Robert Castapo is my A driver, and our gunner is Zarega. There are 2 guys from the replacement unit in the back seats among gear, water, and ammo cans. They didn't convoy into Iraq like we did because they didn't bring any of their own equipment. Our unit is handing all of our equipment over to them, which for us is a good thing. This means we will fly back to Fort Bragg. We won't have to stay and get all the equipment off the Navy ships. We can simply out-process and go home. But right now, we sit in the gate of Anaconda waiting to go on our last mission. I look back at the new guys. One is a bit older than the other, and he looks a little more calm. The other one, the kid, looks scared shitless. So you guys just drive through and attack? He asks. Yep, I say. There's not much else to do. After a while in a combat zone, you start to think of everything as fateful. Something blows up and it's fate. Get lucky with an IED is a dud, that's fate too. Jim Coughlin dies while on a simple launch pad mission. You guessed it, fate. And if today's the day, the last mission, well, then fuck it. At least we know God enjoys some good old-fashioned irony. I push the play button on my MP3 player that hangs from the windshield frame. 2 speakers strung up by a 550 cord will start blasting Tool into the cramped Humvee. Is it hard for you to concentrate with the music playing? Asked the scared shitless kid. Do you play music in your car back home? Yeah, trust me, man, I say. There's a lot more to pay attention to while driving back home than there is here. Really? Hell yeah, says Zegra from the roof. Back home, you have to watch out for other cars and stupid drivers. Here, stupid driver's a dead driver. He laughs, that maniacal laugh of his. Dude, we own the road here, I tell the kid in the back seat. Civilians have to get out of our way. Or it's roast haji for dinner, Zegra cries. Then he rolls his tongue to make a machine gun noise. Gestapo and I laugh. We're used to Zerega's antics. Plus, we know he's only upping the ante today to get a rise out of the kid. Truth is, 9 out of 10 convoys are routine and uneventful. It's not unreasonable that he's trying to invent some entertainment. All you have to do in a convoy is stay on the road, I tell the kid, especially being the last vehicle. We don't even have to know where we're going. 99 Hajis alive on the road, 99 Hajis alive. You shoot one dead, run over his head, 98 Hajis alive on the road. Serga sings. Don't mind him, Gestapo tells the kid in the back seat. He's crazy. Oh, says the kid. Trust me, I say. You guys will be fine, and music doesn't distract you from anything. Plus, if we're going to go out, we might as well do it in a little style, right? The kid nods his head. I put on my aviator sunglasses and turn up the speakers. The handheld radio crackles. It's the lieutenant. All 100 elements, this is 2-6. We're rolling. The brake lights on the vehicle ahead of me go dim, and I put the Humvee in drive. We roll out of the gate outside the wire. Zegra loads his saw once we're out. That familiar click-clack. Those familiar whine chimes of the devil. Let's kick some ass, he yells from the roof. The way his voice echoes, the way it overcomes the steady roar of the diesel engine, it's like God talking. Zegra is, for all intent and purposes, crazy. Out of all of us, he's developed his sixth sense of humor the most. But developing humor, it's the reason we've survived. Not literally, of course. Laughing at a bomb doesn't make it less lethal. But mentally, it's the humor that keeps us going. It's how we stay strong. See, Zegra makes some fun of this kid's first convoy out of the kid's fear, but it's also Zegra's fear. His fear is why he sings 99 Hajis. Our fear is why Gestapo and I laugh with him instead of telling him to shut up. It's why I throw on my aviators and crank the music. Going insane is how we keep our sanity. And out of all the convoys, this is the scariest. The convoy up here was pretty scary, but at that time, home was a long way off. Anyway, this is our last convoy, and home is just around the corner. I drive down the road thinking of a soldier I met while waiting at the PAX terminal to go on my 2 weeks leave. He told me about a guy in his company who went on leave in February while waiting at the PAX terminal. The guy got off many estimated times of departure. They had a few hours, so he decided to take a trip to the PX. He didn't really have a reason to go other than boredom, but he figured he could pick up a pack of gum or something. On his way, he was hit by a mortar and killed. driving down the endless dirt road for what will be the last time. This is the kind of story that runs through your head. The image of a soldier whistling and skipping down a concrete sidewalk runs through my mind over and over again. All he's thinking about is how hard he'll hold his parents or kids or wife or girlfriend when he finally sees them again. Home is just around the corner for him, just a few short traveling days, and his war was over. But then, out of the sky, there's the whoosh of displayed air and the boom of an explosion, and then there's the shrapnel slicing through his body. Irony is literally a device that's supposed to happen in novels. It's supposed to keep the reader interested and entertained, but living in a war zone, you realize that irony is real life. To deal with it, we develop a sick sense of humor. Living in a war zone, you realize that God is the one with a sick sense of humor. So I guess that makes us godlike. I drive down the empty road, trying to empty my mind of ironic images. There's a herd of cows off to the left edge of the road. One cow in particular seems to be the leader of the pack. She's standing at the very edge of the road, waiting to cross. She's fearless, or perhaps just stupid. The 10th vehicle in the convoy, the one right in front of me, zooms past the skinny brown cow. Somehow I know that this stupid, fearless cow won't be patient enough to allow me, the last vehicle, to pass before crossing. Irony is what I expect on this convoy, and irony is what I get. Like the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, the cow heads into traffic, but unlike the rabbit who's late for a very important date, the dumb cow plods along without a care in the world. You couldn't have waited for one more damn Humvee, I think? There is no way in hell I'm going to halt an entire convoy to watch one starving Irish cow cross the road, not to mention the herd behind her that now seems to admire her plodding along. They're sure to follow shortly. I slam the gas pedal to the floor and it becomes a race. The diesel engine roars and the needle of the speedometer is buried. I time the cow's slow trot with my own increasing speed. Luckily, after a year of dodging every possible IED at every possible speed, the situation is almost second nature. But hey, you never know. I can't see them, but I know the two replacement soldiers are jockeying for position, trying to catch a glimpse out of the windshield. It's our last convoy, and I expect to see God's sick sense of humor awaiting me with a swipe of fate's sickle. Instead, I am playing chicken with a cow. I don't know what kind of irony you'd call that, but it's something. Smithson! Gaspardo yells over the deafening roar of the engine, just like Morrow going into the dust devil. Gustavo grabs the oh shit handle in front of him. Can't stop now, I yell, smiling. Bring it on, fate! The cow steps across the road. Her front foot crosses the middle of the road, and her head sticks out into the right lane. Since we're the last Humvee and this weapon needs to face 6 o'clock, Zegura is watching the road behind us. He has no idea we're about to collide with a suicidal cow. Hold on, Z, I yell. I barely hear him say what as we approach the stupid cow. I jerk the wheel to the right at the last possible second. No one in the Humvee is breathing, and the passenger side tires jump off the edge of the road. They stir the hot sand, and I wrestle with the wheel to keep the Humvee from jumping off completely. The side mirrors on an armored Humvee stick out more than a foot, so the driver can see out of the small armored window. As we pass her, I look the cow directly in her dumb black eyes. I wait for her blood to splatter out of her nose and across my thick windshield. I wait to smack into her and feel the Humvee fly out of control. She's still plodding along well into the right lane, and I watch the tip of her nose miss my side mirror by inches. Zegura howls in laughter. The sudden hop off the road probably threw his heart into his throat. His laughter, I think, is of relief. You should have told me, Zegura yells through the hole in the roof. I would have wasted her. I look in my rear view, and the cow is slowly turning around to walk back toward the herd. You spend a whole year avoiding man-made bombs. You spend an entire year thinking that humanity's evil is going to widow your wife. The whole year, your brain is consumed with thoughts of being murdered. Then the thing that almost takes you out is some stupid, impatient cow. Above the diesel engine, I can hear God laughing at me, that maniacal laugh of his. There's no such thing as an atheist in a foxhole.